Ah,
Hello, hello, hello. We is back. I don't know how to do these intros. I really hope my mic sounds a little bit better. I don't know if it's peaking still. But I guess if it's bad enough, somebody will let me know, hopefully.
You mean like last time?
Oh, exactly like last time. It's fine. It's fine. My voice, it's hard to make my voice not peak with how high I go sometimes. So E E E E. All right. Today we are joined by we have a Snack who we will be playing Space Marine 2 beta with, and then we have a Frosty here who is just a chillin' today. And Snack is dying. Aw. So, without further ado, we're just gonna get right into it. Oh, right. The game takes a hot minute to load for me. Oh, oh gosh, I'm dying. I'm dying already. We've made it 5 minutes into the stream, and I'm already dying.
Wow, you're speedrunning this thing.
Yeah, trying to, trying to beat a record here. There we go. Now game loading. Fun times. He do a little wiggle. I moved you onto my desk. You're now at my desk.
yay.
And so is a
Let
frog.
me invite you.
Give me a second. I'm still loading in. Ha. Thanks, Stream Elements. You're a little bit late. I'd say about 6.5 minutes late. Space Marine 2. Oh my god. Bum 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 bum. Chat, how is my audio to my voice, and how are these people's voices? I mean, they're not really talking much, but I can turn.
I am currently trying to do something.
Rubicon surgery has remade you as a Primaris Marine. You are now stronger, faster, and more resilient. You will take your place as an Ultramarine once more. Your brothers will know that you served in the Death Watch, but your dishonorable status as a Black Shield has been redacted from the archives. Should it be discovered,
Okay, I
there
am
would be
Good.
ready.
questions. Lord Kelgar has offered you a second chance.
I have made the most
Taint it.
annoying coloration ever.
There we go.
Brother, you've done it.
What? Where am I? Can I skip this? No.
I know.
There we go. Thank you. Thank you, good sir.
Why?
What do you mean, why? Why what?
Come on.
I'm holding on. I can only hold on so much. I'm waiting.
Fuck, I messed up.
What did you do?
I forgot I set it in private.
Nice. Can we get one clap for Snack? Good job, Snack.
Alright,
Good.
there we go.
Good job.
Yeah?
I love my sound effects. I still need to play around with that and see if I can import my own custom sound effects onto my stream deck. I'm sure I can. There's a hair where it shouldn't be a hair. Dang, this be taking forever to load. There we go. Look at me. Am I just the most terrifying boy you ever did see? Yeah. Alright. You said you made the most, like... What are you? I can't tell if it's good or bad. That's the problem. I can't tell if it's good or bad.
I'm ready to go when you are.
I'm ready.
The most annoying fucking
There
breed.
I just turned my mic down a little bit because it was hitting the red too much, and I really don't want to keep my mic. Let's go! Girl, my dog died. Let's go!
We have a sniper.
Yep. Better than a stinky walks.
Mm.
Oh,
I'm
Oh!
surprised you didn't
Oh
put
my goodness,
skulls on your
Desi-
jetpack.
Desi messaged me last night and I totally forgot to message him back.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm so bad
Sounds like a
messaging
bad mother.
people back. Oh! Not the bad mother. I can't
It's
take
alright.
this slander. I'm so bad at
when are we
messaging
filing the
people back.
defamation lawsuit?
Like, somebody could message me something super important, like, hey, this is urgent, could you text me back as soon as possible? I'll read the message and be like, yeah, okay, let me finish this one thing, and then I will respond to that message. So I finished that one thing. Well, no. I start that one thing, I
my
get
God.
distracted by another thing, and then I get distracted by another thing, and I keep getting distracted. 3 months go by, and I realize I never messaged that person back.
What do you think?
I can't say it's horrible, and I hate it. I'm not a bad mama. How did you roll?
Base?
I don't roll.
You have a fucking jetpack on. Why do
Oh.
you need to roll?
Because it's cool. Oh, a big
Fucking
boy.
bug.
Request additional armaments for that
Big bug.
Take heed, Viridian.
I wanna roll.
Position
Ah!
vectors are unknown. Best to keep moving and stay together. Projecting a sense of tactical dominance may deter it from attacking.
Oh, that
For
is
now,
wrong button.
traverse with caution, brothers. Here it comes. Hold formation and advance. Run as one, brothers.
I can't see anything. Oh, you're all the way over there. Where did you go? He left me alone.
I'm sorry.
He left me alone. Oh, by myself.
I was fighting 4 warriors and they led me up here.
Wrong button. What the heck? Why is my camera? Wait, what the heck is happening to my camera? What? At one point, I could not control my camera. So much blood. So much murder.
Which, where to next?
Left, I guess.
Oh, we were just here.
This
Guess
is
we
why
gotta
I
go
don't
right.
choose directions. This is why I prefer to be your little shadow. I am a little shadow. I am the darkness. Don't touch me.
Speed up
Take
and
it.
stay close. We hold this
Oh, you'll
ground,
give me
not the
pets?
beast.
Okay, I'll accept pets. But I am still the darkness.
We hold an indefensible position. These perches are precarious. Tarry not.
I can roll! I just did it! I don't really know how I just did it, but I did it.
Speed up and stay close. Run as one, brothers.
It is so hard to see. Ammo cache.
Fresh munitions.
Mother customs. I stabbing.
Alright.
Clear a blast radius.
Well, that works.
Firing on that carapace will only squander ammunition. Indeed, Meridian. Unless the Tyranid Barrow devours the target, its extermination is not mission critical.
Whoa!
That pitiful Xenos was but a horrible
Oh. This boy goes invisible.
Yep. Keep the lictor. I'm down.
Xenos scum on scope.
Oh my gosh.
Xenos hunger is insatiable, but the Imperials is dominant.
Ooh.
Come here. Give me your arm.
This lictor storms the battle.
Ouchie.
Speed up and stay close.
Phew!
Bless you.
Thank you.
Hurry, close those gaps.
Yeet. Ow. Run! Run, Forrest, run!
A lift station lies just ahead, Meridian.
Ouchie.
Considering the Trigon's presence is incidental to our objective, utilize the lift to reroute closer to Metrian's keep. Confirmed, Kratos. Approaching the lift now. Another alien falls to the Imperials.
Oh, hiccups.
I have summoned the transport queue at the request of Waco's captain. Remain patient. Transport lift is
Ow!
Perplexing. I have transmitted no authorizations. This is not an ideal rally point. We must keep moving until the lift arrives.
transport lift status incomprehensible. Begins, ceases. Begins, ceases.
Scrutinize every movement, brothers.
Oh!
The lift has arrived.
That guy sniped me.
Now to the lift. This soil shall taste no more.
I live! Let's go.
Come on, rally on my signal.
Hello,
I'm still surprised you didn't go with the skulls on the jetpack.
the wings better because they have the wings on the helmet. I have skulls on the design already. That's why I went with the wings instead.
Ignoel welcomes you to launch an Ascana
Because there's skulls on the wings too.
Please do not disturb the lift. It would be a waste. I have no music to play while you descend. Use the silence to contemplate your futile, brutal existence in service to a desiccated cause.
Magos, is this servo skull malfunctioning?
Viridian, the servo skull is enslaved to an unknown master.
I don't know about that servo skull. He said contemplate your existence.
A suggestion, abandon Gallio's misguided vendetta against the Magos biologists. Do you know what Gallio and Metrian achieved together in the past? Ask about Project Zeta-6 if you ever speak to him again.
Were I bothered by the servo skull's incessant taunts, I would shoot it myself.
Select preferred method of execution. Decapitation, desiccation, defenestration, dismemberment, disembowelment, drowning,
Magos said to ignore the
Harry, this... Haha. Ha ha ha.
Gallio
We-
knows nothing of the shadow.
I set the title to Purging Heretics. I really should have named it Purging Xenos.
Well, we can purge heretics after this.
We could purge heretics.
Mending flesh. Gifts from the forge. That is the biggest tyranny that I've seen.
That's a big boy.
I was
Big
worried you
bug.
would fall victim to Metrian's mastery of malphonic disruptive frequencies, but
That
now
works too.
The uncomfortable sensation associated with relief cools my remaining skin.
I could slice and dice. Or you could just
Metrian
grenade
cannot
the room.
hope to stand against you.
What do you prefer?
So she will lie and store in hope the Xenos will devour. Jason,
Both are fun.
she has enslaved that servo skull as a crude mouthpiece, but give her word zero credibility for the mission's sake. And your own.
I'm ready.
Trust you will hold this Ignoel Metrian accountable
Yeah.
for her sins.
I think I need to close some tabs on my computer.
Go ahead.
Oh, I can do that afterwards. I'm not really lagging that bad. I just noticed some slight performance issues with my model.
Follows.
Startes, the facility is well stocked in mining gear. Requisition melter charges to eradicate the tunnels and halt the infestation.
For tired lowruns, we need melters. Collapse their rancid coalways. Charge detonated. Tyranids destroyed. Melter charge found.
Authorization granted. Exercise proper.
Gotta grab some melta bombs.
Sterilize these burrows of Xenos. Take the Xenos always with the melter charges. Place the melters in the hive.
Aw. Like, I'm getting better, but I'm still, like, not that good.
Well, this is on standard difficulty.
Oh.
I need a melt-a-bomb. Because they will keep on spawning endlessly until we blow that pit up.
Ah.
Steam injection administered. Gathering here, a melter charge.
Melter detonation materials available.
Seal the Xenos-infested chasms with a thermal weapon. Sector clear of Tyranid presence, except for the Trigon. Onwards, brothers, towards
Got
the
tried
objective.
on. I don't know why, that gives me, like, vibes of, like, the claw.
Be ready.
Inside the facility, you'll find Metrion cowering in her data
Boop.
enclave.
Boop, boop, boop.
Old friend of mine. If you missed our binaric discourses, you could have sent communication. I observe you still pathetically cling to thews of soft tissue. Remember, meat lacks efficiency, whereas metallic alloys stave off corrosion and degradation for far
Oi.
How far you have fallen, Ignoel, that I must drag you back into the light.
What?
You executed all of them!
I'm sorry.
Every single one I went to!
Have some armor boosts.
He's a baka.
何を誰ですか
Into the breach once more.
Ohio!
おはよ
Three meat lackeys seems like overkill, Galio. You think too highly of me. These poor, inert variables shall perish here, devoured by the Tyranids. And you do not care.
Metrion shut down power.
Dude, I remember being such like a cringy kid in school when I used to like
Backup power cell.
try to convince people I knew different languages. So I would like go up to people and just be like, oh,
Seek out a power cell for the generator.
Beseech you, Galio. Bear witness
they'd look
to the
at me like,
summation
what
of
the
our
heck?
divine arithmetic from
I'm just wondering why you're not grabbing all the Medicaid stuff to heal up.
Because I'm yapping.
As my theorems predicted, your
So
life
nay,
vector has
so nay.
converged with renegade factors, and Zeta 6 was a waste of
Owie.
computational resources and one perfectly
And it's actually funny because if you actually knew Japanese, there's some things that you could say that sound totally not Japanese.
of course.
You are a redundant functionary. Your Astartes shall die here,
Ow.
in the dark.
Where is that power? Another alien. Let this harassing alien hunt.
Ow. this?
Power dwells within this device. We must
I don't know what it is, but I grabbed it.
power cells.
That's a power cell.
What?
You have to take it to the generator.
Where's that?
We have to find it. It's somewhere. There's 2 separate generators.
But the Imperium is indomitable.
Oh.
I found one.
I don't even know where you went.
I said I found one. There's a different one now. It's not down here. It's gonna be up top.
Oh. I just saw it interact thing, so that's why I started moving. There it is.
Light and darkness. How easily
Ah.
flesh parts deceive their perception.
Owa, owa.
Disrupt her attempts to connect with our facility's network.
Owa, owa.
Seize any opportunity to damage crucial data which would deem this mission a failure. Do not let her connect to the consoles.
You shall have every last thought in her head to dissect, Magos.
I am copies of copies, backups of backups, and I degrade not. You have already fallen.
Ay, 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 ay. I am going to die. I die.
The world this Xenos sought to conceal now conceals its power.
Brothers, this console is ours. Return to Mitrin's containment unit. See, Mitrin, the more you thrash, the deeper you set our hooks.
Oh.
Oh, retrieve the brain.
The brain.
These tender claws of Astartes flesh have accomplished nothing, Galio. My imagination has already achieved my desire.
Ow!
You are fools, pests.
Silence! Meridian, confirm possession of her quivering mass of computational gray matter.
Oh. Spider!
The pulpous gray matter.
Ow! He caught me in the corner!
Meridian is ready for evacuation. Sending updated extraction coordinates to you now, Meridian.
Come here. Fucking
Biovore.
biovore.
Be careful.
Hmm.
Space pride.
He's a biovore.
What's that?
It'll eat you.
No!
I mean, they are Tyranids. They
Don't
do
take me
eat-
away!
They do eat literally everything. They're the nom nom boys.
Nom nom boyos.
Yes.
Threshold secure. No telling what
The nom nom
wishes
boys.
Do they have booper snoots?
You could boop their snoot once. boop, boop.
Well, if you can boop them once, or at the very least once, that's a win in my game.
If you can boop once, there's always a worth the risk. They're not very
They
cute
hungry.
creatures, though. They're
Oh?
big bugs. They're big alien bugs.
Hive mind.
Yeah. They think like bees, basically.
Oh, shit.
That pitiful Xenos.
So if you kill the queen, they all go to sleep?
They just make a new queen. They basically just, don't they pretty much just... Oh. How does it work? If like a queen dies, does the hive die?
Oh,
In the case of bees,
Or do they just find a new tyrannid to be the queen?
hive mind is forever.
I don't know where I'm going. I can't see anything.
are we talking about the bee analogy or these creatures?
Oh. The poison killed me.
Jump-starting life support system.
At least I have life support. It's life alert. You've fallen and you can't get up? Don't worry. We'll revive you.
And to answer your question, the hive mind is forever.
Hive mind is forever.
Because you could kill a tyrannid hive lord, and another one would always just show up. The real master is the hive mind.
Oh.
And we don't know where the hive mind is. Or what the hive mind is. It's just a hive mind.
I know who it is.
It's Jerry!
It's Kerrigan.
Actually, I should have let you take that one.
What do you mean? I always am at pretty much dead.
Together we
Oh, there you go. There's
So
one.
you were
gathering supplies.
Snack. You recall who Kerrigan is, right?
Rejected.
Take
Take
the
it.
med stem!
Take it.
What? Look at your health! You literally have a
Take it.
sliver. Oh my gosh.
Ready?
Yeah, are you?
Snack has a perk that makes him a glass cannon.
Oh, it doesn't even matter. I was about to make a big deal out of this med stem. Next, like, you realize that's the end of the mission, right?
Oh, hey, Desi DM me, I think. No,
I really need
That's
to
somebody
message
else.
Desi. Because I think he joined last night and he's like, oh, we're sorry we played a joke, but we didn't realize you guys were asleep. B rank. We did it! Yay!
Now we see Mo. Hooray!
Yay! Ah.
Ooh.
Ooh, feel better?
Yeah.
Good!
Now time to make another obnoxious marine.
Oh gosh. Maybe I shall join you in making a obnoxious marine. We have to make it as obnoxious as possible. I'm feeling tassels. Tassel feels. Oh, yeah. Oh, can I not? Let's start with, like... Start with black. Wait. There we go. This... It's for the... Oh, it probably does nothing because... Ah, yep. Giving him obnoxious. Gonna make the emblem. Why not? I hate this.
Almost took this out.
Oh, we don't have purple because I don't have DLC. So we'll do pink.
Oh, you're making Skittle Marine.
Taste the rainbow. Feel
Do you
the
like
rainbow.
my Skittle? Hi, I am a Skittle. I am a Skittle. Notice how I'm.
I was just.
Notice how I made
Yeah.
sure it was Ultra Smurf. Cause they be fruity. Taste the rainbow.
I was just talking about how I wanted to make my Marine look kind of good.
Oh. Mine's not terrible. It just needs better color.
No.
I was gonna make the one leg purple so it could be like the full rainbow, but I don't have the DLC, so it's pink. I really, really hate this.
Go change it out.
I'm gonna go change.
I'm probably gonna be or pop out for a bit and then come back.
Alright. Oh. No! Wait! I edited the wrong one. Okay, that's not terrible looking. I'm coming. I'm coming.
I'll punch you.
What?
Look up, you didn't see the giant fist.
Oh my god, that's spouse abuse.
Look at giant power fist.
No, the correct term is you'll fist me. You begging for a fisting, boy. Oh yeah, I was
Proud of
gonna
yourself.
close up my tabs. There we go. There we go.
Lieutenant Titus has a plan to take down the shield protecting that obelisk.
Oh, now I just want to play the fucking mod.
Head to these
Now that I know it has a fallen.
Sorry, I was trying to fix my VTuber model because she's kind of lagging a little bit.
The captain
But
has provided
it's
us
not
directions,
my
but not
computer
instructions.
lagging, it's the window capture itself.
Replica of the obelisk. But be warned.
Oh, excuse me.
Deny
Remember how slow the fucking Power Fist was?
Yeah. Oh my god. Wow.
That's pretty fucking fast.
I want to fist people.
the forces of chaos.
He's not even gonna acknowledge what I just said.
Remove that experiment from the battle. Our spirit stands stronger than their corruption.
Oh,
Emperor sees your impious aim.
the boys, the Thousand Sun boys. You took my ticket.
You should play with the Power Fist. You should.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, it's so much better.
That bridge will lead us to the console. Let us find a way up to it.
Mine. I will bite you.
We shall use this elevator. Everyone gather together.
He's too high.
We have dispatched the mutant.
See, look, I can.
Our ascent is smooth.
It's double
May
space.
Lieutenant Titus's path also be free of obstacles.
I can roll.
Punch. But can you ground pound?
I can do a roll.
Our mobility will be There is a route through that burial chamber. It will take us towards the console. They're done. The spearmen
Oh my god. Like, oh
Fucking-
my gosh. Where the
Like. Oh my god.
Did you hear what Becky did the other day?
enemy makes war. Show them annihilation.
She totally talked to Jeremiah earlier. Like, don't you be talking to my man.
Send Gilliman's regards.
The crazy thing is, Snap does the Valley Girl voice way too well.
Like, oh my god, you want to just go get some Starbucks?
Oh my god, yes!
Oh, my alarm.
Oh, okay.
It's been going off for 2 minutes now.
My alarm did not go off. I don't know why.
Get the fuck over here, let me fist you. Like this.
Yeah?
Fucking power fist.
You said, come here, let me fist you. Hold on, taking meds.
Terminator.
Terminator down!
Proud of yourself?
Actually, no. I'm very much...
What's up?
Nothing. My med is stuck in my throat now.
The spearman troubles us no
Arming up.
Awa, awa.
Where shall I plant this flag?
Awa, awa. I still have
I
no
think that-
idea where I picked that up from. I would love to know where I picked awa awa up from. Because I don't
We're trying to
remember.
make a... You were trying to make a theme.
Well,
A catchphrase.
is that... Was that genuinely it? Because I don't know if I just... Something I started
Yeah, because
saying
you were... Because you had Fomoko and all the other ones, all the other VTubers have the whole, like, you know,
their own catchphrases.
yeah.
I mean,
And you're like, I need one too. And you
feel
started
like
making them.
I don't really feel like I need one anymore. I just like to say out of pocket shit. That's my catchphrase.
Ah,
Like snack logic.
Our enemies may not let the
by the way, did you pick up those medical stems?
I did pick up one.
Grab that other one.
I don't know where the fuck it is. We can't. Oh, that one. Hold on, my VTuber tracking died.
Load up.
Excuse some more. There we go.
Oh, this fucking power fist.
You wanna fist some enemies? Ooh.
If I could, I would.
This time,
Oh,
No.
this map.
We must brace ourselves against its corruption.
That relic combats the contamination. Bring it with us.
Don't worry. Big hand requires the holding. Big cup requires big hand. Let big hand handle it.
Let us depart.
That looks ridiculous. Oh Oh my gosh.
Brilliant, Talassa, report.
We were rerouted, but continue on course.
Make haste. The enemy seeks to disrupt the battlefield.
We're making haste, but so far no enemy.
Enemies. We need enemies.
I got that bitch.
Pass your attention to the signboard stem. I will light our way.
Get him.
What?
This is completely different from last time.
Yeah. Last time it felt more chaotic. Whoa.
There's a lot of enemies around.
Suffering, my faith in my duty grows stronger.
Mine.
By the way, the Terminators, I think they have new execution animations.
Whoa.
The Imperium weeps not.
Oh shit, where'd you go?
The corruption has abated. The heathens fail. I leave weakness behind in the darkness.
Armor boost.
Whoa.
Entry beyond this point is restricted. Recite the name of proper sanction to proceed.
Servitors and servo skulls would have freely moved around these tombs. Any we find should have the proper hidden. I know not how, but the relic's glow restores me. There is no way to leave this room without the access code.
Huh. Rawr. Rawr. Rawr.
Yeah?
Yeah. Rawr. X3 Nuzzles pounces on you. Ooh, you so warm. Couldn't help but notice your personality from across the floor.
The sooner we find the access code,
Rawr.
the sooner we leave.
I'm surprised I haven't been bonked. Chat must be out of ammunition.
Darkness. We must find the access code. A working servo skull may have it. Here is the
Never
servo
gonna
skull.
give you up.
Messiah be with you, Ministers. How may I serve?
The exit has been sealed shut.
Acknowledged. I will communicate the proper hymn.
Acknowledged. Okay, but can I stick my nip in it? Wait, that... I didn't... Not what I meant.
I will hold the relic. Let us depart.
Nip, because, like, my old name was Neo Nip. Stick myself in it. That's still bad.
Yep.
Can I stick my dick in it?
The corruption has abated. Waste nothing, brothers.
Damn the Thousand Suns and their weird warp energies.
Extermination is counted. I know not how, but the relic's glory restores me.
You... I'm lagging.
Send Gilliman's regards to Kraven's Magnus. The corruption has abated.
I'm lagging like really bad.
Yeah, I see it on my end.
I will light arrow way.
Which is crazy because I have 64 gigs of RAM.
Could be internet.
Yeah, could be. Could be my graphics card too. I mean, it's a 3080, but
We are free of this tomb and its darkness.
VR chat still lags my graphics card.
Let us strike this
You're talking about VR chat.
Yeah.
Nothing's gonna satiate VR chat. VR chat's always gonna lag.
You could have a fucking thread ripper. That was not what I was trying to execute, but okay. It was that one.
Those altars channel the energy manipulating the land. We must interrupt that process if we are to cross. We stand here, and the lands shift around us.
It is our strength of will that disrupts the altar. We must stay by it until we have our path.
So, come here often?
No.
No?
No.
We no longer need to rotate the land. We
No.
must focus on the next altar.
I thought you didn't move.
The lands turn. This is how we reach the truth.
The lands.
We remain by the altar until the land moves closer.
Ow.
We cannot cross this orientation. Zandor's opposition has ended in death. The lands remain too far apart. We have an opening to the next altar. Your deaths will be agonizing.
Damn.
Your restoration
We missed the path.
Oh. I don't know what I'm doing with that, so...
What's that?
I don't know how to work that, so...
They usually say the lands are forming a path, and that's when you get out of the circle.
No.
we must continue to rotate the islands. The lands are in position.
There we go.
The next altar awaits us. Lies only in the one.
What are we assembling here?
The next altar, brothers.
You want to know what we're assembling here? Your mom.
The lands turn. This is how we reach the truth.
This is not a path we
Wait by
can
the
take.
altar until the land
We need
moves
the
closer.
lands to rotate further.
This is but a taste of true divinity.
Where shall I plant this flag?
In your ass.
Yeah?
Yeah?
Brothers, let us send these obscenities back to the void they crawled from.
You are but worms. Now we can get to the device and that damn sorcerer. The sorcerer and the device are unreachable behind that shield. We need a way
Like, this is a pretty map.
those orbs are tainted
But every time I play it, I lag.
The shield draws powerful. Raise them so we may shatter the
Which is funny because I don't. And you have a better computer than I do.
Significantly better.
And I'm playing on the highest like graphics.
Yeah.
I will make this traitor pay. Eliminating that sphere has reduced the field price. Target the remaining orbs. Lies only in the one.
Ow.
We must stay alert for when they appear.
You advise the traitors.
hate these little blue skulls.
You can shoot them.
I know, I just...
Let us purge this deceiver from our sights. I scatter your foul sins to the winds of time. Our faith and discipline. Our mission is almost over, brothers. We finish it by rotating this obelisk replica.
I'll move it. Giant fists must move giant artifact by turning small artifact.
But the sight of that beast reeling is a fine tonic.
Yay!
Yay. Excuse me. Hello.
Also, I think I fixed it. I've been
Oh.
running a fix in the background, so. If you want to do that or something else, or if you want to continue playing this.
We can switch games.
What type of game do you feel like playing?
Ooh, A rank.
I think I like the bulwark with that fucking power fist. I just have to... Oh, I know what I have to do. I have to upgrade the power fist to that certain type for it to be that quick.
Oh.
Because you could admit, that was a lot fucking faster.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no. It's the same speed.
I wanna test something.
What do you want to test?
See if I do a different window capture. That is not... Well, that doesn't work. I think that's better. Not really, actually. Yeah, the issue still remains. Oh well. So we gonna switch games?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for you to say which one.
No, I'm like either between... I'm kind of stuck between two different games because I love playing Warhammer games, but I also love my chill games. Kind of also tempted to, like, if you were interested in, like, playing Kingdoms for a little bit or something. I don't know though. I also just... Soulstorm sounds fun too. but it's also kind of like, I did a bunch of schoolwork, I used brain power, I don't want to keep using brain power.
What was my issue?
What?
I was all like, why wasn't my plasma pistol doing any damage? Realizing I didn't even have the right plasma pistol equipped.
Ah! That's funny.
Well, you're the streamer. You decide. Why are you following me?
Because I always choose the game. You never choose the game.
Really? What game do you want to do? What game do you want to play? I'm down for Space Marine 2. Okay, we'll play Space Marine 2.
But... uh...
Last night, hey, you want to play Soulstorm? Sure, I'll play Soulstorm.
Yeah, like, I can think on maybe 3 occasions you pick the game. Most of the time, it's always, what do you want to do? You know me, I'm down for anything. You know the games I like playing.
You know what? Let's sit for 4 hours and let Darktide fucking verify files.
You want to play Darktide?
Why not?
Yeah, we can do Darktide. Cool. Cool. Darktide, where is Darktide? Do we need to actually do the patch?
I'm done.
I don't.
Hold on 1 second.
I need to be right back anyways. I actually have to pee.
Okay. Hey, don't worry. Guess what?
What?
New update coming up on the 25th.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay. I'll be right back. I really have to pee. Oh, what were you talking about while I was gone?
The wall.
That's a lie. You were talking about absolutely nothing.
I was reading a book.
There was complete silence.
I'm sorry, I was reading a book.
Cause, I mean, I definitely don't take my headset with me everywhere.
I'm sorry, I'm just low energy today.
It's okay. I don't expect you. You know, cause my headset doesn't have a mic, so I don't have to worry of like, if I go potty, you guys don't have to worry about hearing me pee ever. Like, it's not gonna like accidentally connect to my headset and you guys are gonna suddenly hear me pee. So, you know, I just take my headset with me. I'm too lazy to take it off. No, sometimes you just don't want to take your headset off. Or like when I go downstairs to get myself food, I keep my headset with me so I can listen to whoever I'm on the call with.
Is there anything cool?
Sure you're ready
Huh?
this?
I was gonna say, is there anything cool?
Anything cool?
Hail and farewell.
Like what? In the potty?
No, in the fucking requisition.
Oh!
Yes, if you must.
Fucking, why would I want to know about your potty?
I don't know. Oh, thank you. I meant to do that and then I got distracted. Game changed. Kill 1,000 strikes with melee. Complete 8 missions. Kill 750 scabs with ranged. I'm not doing that.
No, let me just rearrange my plans to suit you.
Yes, rearrange your plans to suit me.
Head to the mission terminal. There's a task only you can handle.
Who are you telling me what to do? Dorktide! Let's go! We love Darktide. We love Darktid. We call it Darktid here. Darktiddy! But it's titty? Like Tiddy. Titty. Not titty. Titty. Tibby! Dark Tibby.
The VTuber.
What?
And VTubers. Always talking about titties.
Excuse me? You talk about titties all the time. Well, more realistically, I don't think I can say that on stream. You talk about one type of titty, and that's it.
Yeah, the blue-footed booby.
That is a very nice titty. You have nice titties.
Ready?
All 4 of them. Yeah.
Oh, play this one.
A mouse.
Yeah, going straight right into it.
You ever wonder if there's a man out there with 7 billion buttholes?
Why are we talking about this?
It's a meme. It's an old meme.
Yeah, his name is Nurgle.
What? Oh. Fun fact. Nurgle created crotch rot. You can thank Nurgle for the crotch rot, guys.
You'll not be doing the fetching and carrying, so give us a smile.
Why did you kiss me after crotch rot? Holy fuck.
Would you still love me if I was crotch rot?
Look at him. Look at the bots.
Oh, Oh! Oh my gosh. Hell yeah!
Look at this lot. A heavy sneeze would take them all out.
Varlets, kindly pay attention to the matter at
You didn't
hand,
answer
not
my
idle
question.
conjecture.
What?
Would you still love me if I was crotch rod?
Spend people to make weapons.
I don't want to answer this question.
Stops the production nexus. You can reach the consignment yard from there.
Another suicide mission, just for us.
Advancing! Give me cover!
Busy workers can't do the demon's work. Protocol, Capitan Torox.
Gorgorox Delta!
I am itchy.
Course correct. Lost your spines, have ya? Target.
Yep. The real question is, would you still love me if I was normal?
Yeah.
Because I don't think I would love me if I was normal. Being normal is overrated.
It's this way.
You wanna go absolutely feral? You know, like, just completely just be you, be weird, be crazy? You be weird and you be crazy.
I have a stick.
Yeah?
No. Smaller.
You do have a stick. Nice stick.
It electrocutes people.
Shocking.
Somebody put a shock collar on
You
it.
know, what? You know, who needs Thomas Edison when you light up a room, babe?
You blew up.
You ever been to Tennessee?
Because you're the only 10
I
eyes.
see.
Difficult to navigate in here.
He's trying to, like, make me blush and everything.
I saved by the snap. They really need to adjust the alphabet, because I can't imagine a world where you and I aren't together.
Are you happy with yourself?
Some call me the Rizzler.
Let's call you Nemo.
You can call me the Riz Master.
Trust me. I could fucking riz you off.
Do
if
it!
I wanted to, but no! Then you would get banned.
Oh. Wait, are they horny? He didn't answer that question. I'm gonna go with yes. Found the med crate. Ooh, lag. That's internet lag. That was like COD style lag. I don't think you needed your head. Nope.
Yeah?
I stopped myself. Let me save you, my prince.
There's a med station!
This medical station is ready to assist.
Ammo!
Ah, itchy, itchy, itchy.
Crawfish.
Whoa.
Oh, mutant.
Mutant fall!
Grenade.
I don't suppose even
I love crack grenades.
Yeah.
Forward.
Oh. Don't worry, it's friendly fire. It's literally friendly fire.
This will be but one of a million
I don't think you need your limbs. I'm psycho. Oh. Gave me the good stab stab. The good juice. He gave me his juice!
I'm surprised you don't try other weapons.
My.
I know.
Cause I'm love. Cause I'm autistic. I can't try new things. New things scare me. I need a cold shower.
We have a job to do. Let's get out here and fucking do it.
Hey! Hey! Big Angie! Put my man down. Ow. I got your toes. Give me them concrete grippers.
Don't waste ammo! It doesn't hit!
Keep focus. What? That dog just yeeted itself. He said yeet. How does flame taste?
That dog just fucking killed itself.
Yeah. Woof woof. Woof woof. Woof woof. Ow woo.
Yeah?
Ow woo. What? Ow woo. Owa owa.
Alright, after this I need to use the bathroom.
Okay.
We go, Dan! No
Gotta go potty.
That door needs a nudge from your data interrogators. Get to work.
Med station!
Money, money, money. Must be funny. In a rich man's world.
Scratch one ranger!
This is Hadron. Data stream.
Hadron.
Quality.
Hadron.
Number 3, something's gone! Clean kill!
What the fuck do you mean, Hadron? It's not Hadron. It's Hadron.
If I'm dead, I can't kill!
Don't tell me I've been lied to.
Recollect. Retry. Resume. Data flow resuming. No interruptions. Omnisire be praised.
That shit's not gonna fly with me. I mean, if she wants the stick, she's just gonna have to go by Hadron.
Interrogator status.
Yeah? Oh no, somebody peeking.
Huh?
That's a little peeker.
Alone.
Yaz.
Wait. Ow. What
They're
about
away
the
from
carrot,
everybody.
though? What carrot? What carrot?
Can you not hear me?
Yeah, if you mean by carrot, if you mean my
Data link back online. You are not a complete.
my massive pee.
Well done, I suppose.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Completion imminent.
Escalated quickly. Yeah. I'm just a girl. Tee. Cringe. I just cringed. I just cringed so hard. Get back here. Not sure the baby carrot is gonna work. Don't stick food in there. If that's the page we're talking about, don't stick food in your holes. That's a terrible idea. At least, like, wrap it in, like, saran wrap. Actually, I don't like this conversation.
I was gonna say, why are you continuing this conversation?
Beware the witch!
Witch? Where? Where's the witch? Burn her! Burn the witch! You started it. What? I didn't start
You
shit.
did.
Don't.
You're talking.
I started thinking about Hadron because her name is not actually Hadron. That's what the audio thing said. It said Hadron, and it caught me off guard.
Crusher.
Oh, I've been trapped. Part of the game's going. Oh, a stick and carrot joke. The games are going pretty good. Dang, I didn't even have time to bring out my med stim. No! God damn it! Pretty good. They're going... Okay, look. The games are going good. I'm just bad.
You're in cooling control now. Should be a way to access the consignment yard.
The issue with being a melee is running up to melee somebody. But by the time you run up to melee somebody and smack them, a ranged veteran has already shot and killed them.
No. Definitely not the reason why.
Yeah. I got to 3. He's just too... Just run harder! Bucket! I won't run a gun!
You know, there's these stems that increase your movement speed.
That's still not gonna help me outrun a fucking gun!
Maybe you should just try harder.
Maybe...
Also, gas.
Oh, I didn't know Nico busted ass in here. Not me literally being gaslighted to run harder. That's crazy. Press F to run harder. Oh. You know what? I don't have a rebuttal, right now, but... Wow. I just got gotted. You're doing well. Like this. It didn't work. Why did the run not? Why did pressing F not work?
If you want to talk about pretty maps,
You're a pretty map. Ah. Oh my goodness.
call for backup.
Deployed the beacon!
Job's done. You can stay alive as a bonus.
Oh gosh.
I'm gonna hop down here.
Sniper. Oh, dang. Thanks for the follow! Ah! So much! Oh no!
Let your fury rise.
Oh god.
Light them all.
Oh god. Ah!
Emperor sent salvation.
Keep going. Just a few more to kill.
Aww.
Hey! Over here! Help!
We died.
Because of the simple fact that my mouse was starting to die.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to
Well.
switch my tracking. Because my friend dying.
Yeah. I don't like the fact that I'm using an auto gun.
Yeah, I was like, you're not using your bolt pistol.
Well, because I switch it every couple of times.
Oh. Wonder what that's like.
Pleased am I to report that attempts at recreating the rite of steel.
That's why I'm
at
using a shock ball.
Manufactory
I don't like the
HL
shock ball.
1736
Maybe it doesn't
are
like you either.
progressing well, techno-archaeologist.
Indeed.
That was
That
mean.
is most unexpected. And the traitors?
It's okay if it doesn't like you. Because I like you.
Are there any good weapons on the market?
I don't know. You should look.
Nope.
What did this man do to you? Stole my fucking home?
Yeah?
Yeah, you stole my home.
Alright. I'm gonna leave the group and use the bathroom. You go ahead and play around without me.
Oh, okay. He just needed it more than you? Fair enough. He said we can...
Because I'm gonna get some water and everything.
Yeah, that's
before
fine.
I come back.
He said...
I'll still be in chat.
Okay. Is he gone? Is he gone? Is he gone? I think he's gone. Alright, time to cause havoc. Let's cause chaos! No. He said, he said, you know, we could go play more missions, but honestly, kinda just taking a small little break to yap is also kind of, nice, cause I like to yap. I really need to practice, like, actively talking and holding conversation, especially when there's no conversations that are actively being had. Cause you know, me personally, I'm such a fucking socially awkward person.
Please desist on performing your own maintenance. The Omnissiah forbids it.
The Omnissiah forbids it. Oh. Yeah, I'm super socially awkward, and I never really know, like, I never know what to talk about, so I just kind of yap and yap and yap and do my own thing. Did I start talking about really awkward, really embarrassing things because I'm trying to hold conversation, and then I end up oversharing? And then I'm like, oh fuck, I realize I'm oversharing something, but I can't stop myself and I continue to overshare. I do it at work all the time and I always feel so bad. Like, we had, they had to make a new policy that we can no longer say your mom to people. We can no longer say your mom to each other. She'll tell Hadrian she'll get the carrot. Yeah, I like telling. Yeah. I am very bad at oversharing, and I wish I could turn that function off of my brain. But unfortunately, my brain don't work like it's supposed to. It's a blessing and a curse. It's great for things like content, but it's not so great when I'm trying to keep, like, personal stuff more personal, because there's really some things that people don't really need or want to know. Like, that's just a fact. There's some things I definitely don't want to know. I don't want to know how somebody gets pegged personally. It's not my cup of tea. I'm not into hearing about that. That might be your cup of tea, but it's not mine. But yeah, being socially awkward, I'm always known to be really quiet, and things go quiet and I don't know what to talk about, so I just do this and it's just dead silent. It's my cup of tea. Oh, I mean, if that's what you're into, if you like pegging, then that's perfectly fine with you. You know, it's It's a peg or be pegged world out there. Yeah, you gotta be careful. If you don't peg first, you might get pegged back. Yeah, yeah, just be careful, you know, I like tea, though. If it were a tea, it seems like it would be like a fruity tea. That's not what you meant! Oh, I'll hydrate and a posture check.
Yes.
Sea Snack is in fact still here. Oh. Ugh. Dab. Dab on those haters. Dab on those hackers. I was gonna say something and then I threw off my own train of thought. Oh, that's wonderful. I distracted my own self again. How do I keep doing this? I don't understand. I don't know how to function like a normal human being. I can hardly even speak English, and that is the only language I know. Oh! And my squeeb! Oh my god. Snack! How? Oh my god. What? What? What do I see? What is that? What? What did you send me? Cats. Yeah, but what are they doing, though? Are they cuddling? Because it doesn't look like it. Oh, there's a bump on my arm. And it's bothering me. I want to scratch it off. Cuddles. Okay, cool. We're fine with Cuddles. Cuddles is an acceptable answer. That is the only acceptable answer that I will take. Is Cuddles. Can I describe what they're doing? Oh god. They're cuddling. But, so... It's two cats. We have a void cat and we have an orange cat. And it's... The orange cat is on top of the void cat with his arms around the kitty. Like a cuddle. But it looks kinda sus. That's your description. And the caption is, the void on the bottom is older BF. And the orange cat on the top is younger GF. It's Cuddles. Beautiful. Yes. Cats are very beautiful. I am a huge cat person. I was born and raised with cats in my house. I've never not had a cat in my life. They're just super great, super fluffy, super cuddly. I wish they loved me more, but it is what it is. There's nothing greater than when you're like, you adopt a cat and the cat absolutely hates you. So you're trying to gain this cat's trust and this cat's friendship. And then eventually one day, the cat decides to lay on your lap. That is the greatest feeling in the world. You can't tell me otherwise because it absolutely is. I love kitties. I could stare at them all day. Kitties. Hey, you! Traitor! That was not a nice thing to say about my Primarch. Just because you are in rebellion doesn't mean you have to be so rude. Thank you. Thank you, Snack. But, if it's an Ultramarine, it's totally deserved. Ultramarines are mid. That is my opinion. And that is also fact. Space Marine Ultra Smurfs are incredibly mid. Pick a better chapter. Heresy? What do you mean heresy? The Salamanders are where it's at, or even the Dark Angels. Those are the two best chapters. You can't tell me otherwise. They are the best chapters. For the lion, yes. And for my boy Vulcan. Want to poop the Snoop? I would like to pet this creature. Don't touch that danger toad. But I must poop the Snoop. Blood Angels? Emperor's Children? That's actually kind of a unique answer. I will accept that. If we're talking about legions, personally, I'm absolutely in love with the Night Lords. I love the Night Lords. Ha! Word bearers. It's okay. Word bearers are okay. Now, if you were gonna say something like Noise Marines? Those guys are like, I make noise. Let me blast out your eardrums. Iron Warriors are good. I definitely feel bad for Perturabo's boys. Perturabo's boys, they deserved better. Fuck Perturabo. But his children, feel bad for them. I do feel bad for them as a whole. They deserved better. They deserved they deserved a Primarch that gave them the proper love they deserved. Emperor's Children is noise. Yeah, but your boy Lucius coming at you with another bomb-ass prank. It's your boy Lucius here. I do like Lucius. He terrifies me though. He absolutely terrifies me. Like, the more I learned about him, the less I wanted to know about him because he scares me. Hey, go pals! TTS is the greatest thing that has ever happened. I love TTS. That is my introductory to Warhammer. That was how I started on Warhammer, was thanks to Snek. Snek actually introduced me to Warhammer. And I'm very glad that he did, because there are many games I never would have found if it weren't for that. He gets the approval. A loyalist turned traitor. Yeah. He terrifying. He scale-y. He big scale-y. Cause doesn't he have like faces on his armor? Aren't they actual faces? Something like that? Yeah. That's terrifying. Or then you have the Night Lords, and I will say personally, I don't think Conrad Kurz is super terrifying. I think he's more of an emo, edgy boy than he is terrifying. But if you want to talk about terrifying, Night Lord Raptors. And any Night Lord that has, power claws scare me. It's hot. It's kind of one of those things. Something is so terrifying, but at the same time, it low-key, like... I can't finish that sentence. No, it like... is a little exciting. It's, like, terrifyingly exciting. That's the PG version. That's what I can say. What the fuck? Why do you have so many cursed emotes? Is that an aughts emote? Yes, it is. It knew it was an aughts emote. Anytime I see a cursed emote from you, I automatically assume it's from aughts. You crazy, man. He's a crazy boy. See, you have the most cursed emotes. Oh, that's nearly Sam. See, anyone that's, like, associated with aughts or Sam, they have cursed emotes somewhere. Somewhere. Then you have Art Gun. I love Art Gun. She's, like, my live 2D Oshi. But, she's also very cursed. I like it, though. I like her cursed stuff. I can't describe to you the amount of hatred I have for that fucking emote. I despise it. I hate that emote. I hate it. I hate it. You better get that shit out of here. I'll fight you. Why? Look at it! Why are they making... Oh! Ew! Look at it! They're fucking making out! The way... I hate it. I can't. I hate it. Ugh! Okay, that one's fine. That one's fine. How many cursed emotes do you have? Actually, don't answer that question. It's you. I know you have cursed emotes. I mean, you created human... Or you didn't create it, but someone created Human Snack. The idea that Human Snack even exists keeps me up at night sometimes. That one's kinda weird, but not that bad. I wonder if I have any cursed emotes. I doubt it. No, I don't. I'll lick you. And I will not apologize for it. I will be unapologetically feral. Take this as a threat. This is, in fact, a threat. I am rapidly approaching your location as we speak. Big sniffer. You stinky. You do not pass the vibe check. Stinky. Do a little wiggle. A little wiggle wiggle. You could have played around. I know I could have played around, but, you know, I could have played around. Or I could spend a good portion of my life just yapping. Because I need to practice yapping. I don't have skills yapping in front of a microphone. So I need to learn how to yap. Yap, 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 yap. Would you listen to a hot anime girl yap about her random interests for 6 hours straight? Well, I'm sorry to break the news to you. I'm not a real-life anime girl. And double sad news? Anime women aren't real. Women aren't real. Anime women aren't real. Exactly! See? Another interesting, fun fact. Women? Technically, men don't exist. Men are just inverted women. How's that for food for thought? Oh, I need to turn my light on. Oh, shit. I'm knocking shit over. Is that a cursed shower thought? Men are just inverted women? Because it's actually true, because everyone starts out as a female in the womb. And then, when the embryo is determined to be a boy, you know, you've already developed the nips. So it just goes ahead and, like, makes the boy part. I need to shut up. That got really weird. See what I mean? Oversharing. I have a problem. Oh. I'll get better. I'll get better. It'll be fine. Do you want some cream cheese? I have some cream cheese on my desk. Yummy. It's still cold. Wow, 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 wow. We're gonna, there we go. Oh my gosh. I have to pee again, but I don't want to get up. Help. I don't want to get up. Because moving is bad. I'm a gamer. Yeah, I'm a gamer. Gay ass men eat ramen. Gay ass men eat ramen. Do you eat ramen? Are you a fan of ramen? I like to call them instant regret noodles. And I'm talking about, like, instant ramen noodles. I'm not talking about, like, actual proper ramen. Actual proper ramen? That shit slaps! That shit is good! I love me some, like, oh, like tonkatsu ramen? Oh. Or, is it tantamen? Tantanmen? That's pretty good too. Oh, I love ramen.
Yeah?
What? What are you yapping? I'm yapping. Am I not allowed to yap?
You're allowed.
Yap, 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 yap. What about you? Wait. I'm confused. I've already lost the last conversation I was talking about. Something about ramen. Ramen is good. But not instant ramen. Oh no! My stream! Wrong monitor! Why did I move it? Okay, I really have to potty again.
Well, have fun.
Oh, just heard your name? I was talking about ramen. Give me one moment. You can talk about Warhammer lore if you'd like.
Yay, Warhammer lore. Fucking. Oh no. Went out get water, and the only thing I could think of is like, I want to play some Soulstorm Ultimate Apocalypse right now. Or Soulstorm Unification mod sounds way better right now. That would be fun.
I can't talk right now. I'm taking piss.
Yeah?
I'm not actually making piss. We're good. So, what?
That's an orc finger. They have an orc finger.
A what?
Oh, I'm looking at the Commodore. If you go to Psychers and on their second page, they have a trinket called Relics of the Third War.
Uh-huh.
And it's literally just an orc finger. So if you want an orc's finger hanging from your weapons.
Quality wares. All hand selected. Just for you.
Oh!
Oh, it's even on the Zealot.
A desiccated orc finger, said to have been taken as a trophy by a member of the 93rd Steel Legion from the desolation of Hive Infernus. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Ew.
An orc finger.
Ew. That's ucky. That's so ucky.
We go, we go, we go, we go, we go.
Gotta love Armageddon.
The
The three Armageddon wars.
orc finger. Oh my gosh, it smells like cotton candy. Like cotton candy ice cream. Mmm. I have ice cream in the freezer. The Netflix and chilled.
Yeah?
It's literally what it's called. The flavor is called Netflix and chilled.
Find yourself in Inquisitor Grendel's service, Sergeant Major.
It's like peanut butter, salted pretzel, caramel, and
I see.
Is it fudge pieces? Pretty good.
How long have we been streaming for?
2.5 hours.
Oh my god.
What? Doesn't feel like 2 hours or feels like longer?
Feels like longer for some reason. Oh no.
So you want to keep playing
We could.
Darktide, or do you want to switch to another game? Or do you want to end stream and just do something just us?
It doesn't fucking matter because you already know what I'm in the mood for. I've been talking about it since I got it back
Soulstorm?
working again. Yeah.
Soulstorm unification? Or the...
Yeah. But it's unification.
You would
But
have to
I could.
show me how to, install that.
I can.
You want to do it?
It's gonna take forever.
That's okay. I'm good at yapping now. We can
Oh
yap.
no, like this is off stream. Like it's gonna take at least. It's gonna take like 2 to 3 hours. To do.
Okay.
But I could also disable the mod, and we could just play Soulstorm regular.
Would you care to undertake a contract?
Because
I mean,
it's really up to you.
Do you want to be able to play Unification this weekend? Is the question.
Yeah. Because I will let you know, the game that you've been playing now, completely different.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it Chaos actually plays like Chaos, and you get specific you get specific units depending on what god you choose.
Ah.
Yeah. And updated models, so they actually look more terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah. Alright. So if you
What do
want
you
to play
want?
this weekend, because tomorrow evening I have that outing with coworkers. So it would probably be the best time to do that tonight.
Okay.
So, which means it's probably a good idea to just for me to end stream so we can figure that out.
Yeah.
And then we can we can stream Unification some other time. Fuck, that means I have to find somebody to raid out on. Stream Unification. Ew, 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 ew. I heard my voice. Ew, ew, ew. I can't raid that person. I don't remember who you are. You know what? You know what I'm actually feeling? I'm feeling ducks today. We're gonna raid on some ducks. Thank you all for showing up to today's stream. I know it was a little bit jittery. We just kind of did our own thing. But I thought it was a lot of fun. Hope you all have a good one. And bye-bye!